Welcome to the Slamming Door Sessions, a reality creation podcast where we slam the door to anything that is not our ideal. With your amazing hosts, Kristen M.F. Clark and authentic Cintia Serravalle. Join us in a radical embodiment of our ideal states. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Slamming Door Sessions podcast. My name is Cintia, my state name is Authentic Cintia, and we're here with the amazing Kristen and Matthew Clark. Thank you for joining us again. And if you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and turn on notifications. And without further ado, let's begin with today's subject. So, yay! Kristen, yeah.
Oh, Cynthia and I were just talking about how much we like states and substates. And so if anybody's listening and they're like, what the heck is that? We're going to cover all that today. Umbrella states and all of that. It's such a powerful, powerful place for me to realize pretty much anything I'm playing with, whether it's, because I know I sound a little nasally, so anything I'm playing with, such as, oh, I'm sick, any I am is a state. That's just a substate. And for me, so when in the beginning, you'll always hear Cynthia say her state is authentic Cynthia. And, you have an overarching. We're going to have, by the way, ravens joining in. This is part of why I have my headphones on right outside my window. So that's what that noise is in the background if you hear it.
We always have some animal friends invited.
I love it. I love it. I've got the babies, the fledglings out there making noise. So the easiest thing to remember is anything where you're saying, I am a female, I am happy, I am sad, I am this, I am that. They're all just substates that make up the beauty, the wonder, the amazingness that is you. And how wonderful is it that you get to choose at all times? You get to choose what substate you want to play in. Now, for me, Kristen M.F. Clark is me. This is the God of this reality. And so, yes, you could call that an umbrella state, the overarching umbrella state of everything of who I am. But it's bigger than that. It's even, it encompasses everything. Everything I see, everything I feel, every mood I'm in, every thought I have, everything is Kristen M.F. Clark. And then I get to play with the substates. And so Cynthia and I are, it's one of the most fun places to be in. So take it away, my dear.
Yeah. So we were having a conversation like a week or 2 weeks ago, and we were talking. And I think we were with other people, or maybe not. We were just waiting for other people to join us. And I realized that Kristen and I have the same umbrella state. She's Kristen M.F. Clark and I am authentic Cintia. And I realized that our state, like our umbrella state, is just being truly us. Like that is what we want in the end, right? And I think when I chose authentic Cintia as my umbrella state, I did it because I feel that ultimately everything that we want is to be truly us. Like when we talk about freedom, we want the freedom to be us, whoever that is, whoever we want to be, to do whatever we want to do, but to freely express ourselves in whatever way, like in our relationships, artistically, or just traveling to places that we want to visit, like whatever sparks our joy is to be ourselves and to express that. And I think that ultimately that's really what we all want. And so authentic Cintia comes from that. And then I realized, wait a minute, Kristen, like she is Kristen M.F. Clark. Like she is like claiming that this is who I am and I don't care. And I am going to be this like to the fullest extent that I'm capable of being. And so, yeah. And at the same time, we are so different. And we were talking about the things that we love and the things that we don't like and all that. And like, we are like in our substates, the complete opposite. And we were having so much fun, and we were laughing like, oh my God, like we want the same, like we have the same umbrella state. And then the expression of that is opposite, like the complete opposite to each other. And we were just having a blast talking about
Oh my
about that.
God. There
Yeah.
is so much within what you just said. I mean, isn't that just so true? Everybody's I mean, first thing I want to say is I love that you said when you chose authentic, Cynthia. That's the biggest thing, is to choose your umbrella state. And then in every moment that you're interacting with substates, remember, substate is I am, is to ask, do I want that? Do I want that to be part of who I am? And I love that you were saying how vastly different we are. And when she says vastly different, it really, I'm much more, for me, luxury is camping, and being outside in nature, and basically, t-shirt and shorts, and that's it. And Cynthia really loves the beauty of luxurious type surroundings, like gorgeous molding on a beautiful mansion, and the extra work that goes into making something gorgeous, and so much more than that. And it's funny because you could take two people and have them walk down the same street, and they're going to later on report vastly different things. You'd be like, wait a minute, were you guys on the same street? There's no way. And it's like, oh yeah, we were both on F Street. And they're gonna see enormously different things. And oh yeah, that is like the bottom line of life, is that amazing perception of of what lights us up, the joy, like you said, the freedom. We are so free, but we all perceive such difference in our freedom.
Yeah. And I think that is so beautiful, to just see, other people and see what they love to do and how they express themselves, because I think that is the beauty of the whole thing. It's just expressing these
Yes.
vastly different ways of being, and I think that is the richness of this life experience, is just to see, okay, I'm going to do this because I love it and it makes me happy. And then that adds so much to the experience of everyone else. And then when other people express themselves authentically, and then not only is amazing to feel their fulfillment, but also what they add to the world is amazing. And so it's so beautiful,
It
it's just so
really
beautiful.
is. It really is. It's like a recipe. It's like creating with food. And what some people want in a recipe, other people are like, oh my God, you're not putting that in there, and it's like, oh yeah, it brings out the flavor. Like a friend of mine, she adds cinnamon to her lasagnas. And it's for me, when I taste that lasagna, all I can taste is the cinnamon, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not what I'd choose. But for her and other people, it really boosts it. It shifts the flavors slightly. And that is one of the most wonderful things about playing with substates, is you get to shift your reality. And whenever you're playing with your I ams, you immediately, and last week in episode 11, we were talking about appearances and being able to shift your appearances. You don't have to, when I was little and I thought of what somebody looked like at 50 years old, it did not look like me. This does not look like me. And I chose that. I got to say, yeah, no, that's not who I am. Not some little old lady with short hair and gray and, end of life or whatever. No, it's just like when I hit 50, I was like, ooh, dress rehearsal's over. Now I get to do the real thing. And I love that before me is so much opportunity to keep playing in I ams. And so Cynthia and I were, last week when I was playing with I am sick, I am sick, I am sick, I suddenly went, ooh, what am I saying? And it's not about it is definitely about what you're saying out loud, but mostly what are you saying in here, right? And I chose immediately to shift my I am. I woke up this morning, and I can, it doesn't have to have an I am in it. I woke up this morning and I felt fantastic. I woke up this morning and I felt amazing. Um, and I can say I was sick or I can say, no, I was fine. It's about revision and playing and just so life is so wide open, like a canvas for you to paint whatever the flip you want. And you change your memories, you change your childhood, you change your last weekhood. Oh my God. So I know you were so excited to talk about this.
Yeah. I mean, when I just realized, when I had this realization that we had the same on real estate and then such different substates, I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. And also, I've been playing with another substates lately that we are having a heat wave here in France. And there is a state that I really love. I've talked about that I've been playing with the Lady of Leisure, like in previous episodes. But there is another like little nuance to that is, and I didn't know what it was until I found it, like it came up in I think it was in an Instagram post. It's called, in Italian, it's called dolce far niente, which means the sweetness of doing nothing. And it's like even deeper than the Lady of Leisure. It's just, to me, it's just laying down in the shade with the summer breeze hitting your face, Oh, and there's so much pleasure in that that I cannot explain. And it is so interesting because I was just thinking about appreciating things in life, in general, like appreciating the everyday things. And when I realized that I was taking so much pleasure in literally just doing nothing and enjoying the breeze, I was like, holy cow, like there are so many things that we get to enjoy. And if we recognize the state that is coming from the appreciation, and because it made me think of other states where maybe sometimes I like to do a lot of things at the same time. Like I have like these waves of sometimes I really like to do a lot of things, and then it comes this time when I'm like, no, I don't want to do anything at all. I just want to enjoy being still, not moving, and just enjoying the breeze. And I don't know, I just felt so much joy and so much pleasure and just so much appreciation for that. And it's so simple. But yeah, I was so happy.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't it? One of the things I love about substates, the I ams, is you instantly manifest that. So if you're looking, if you're sitting there going, okay, well, this is the wrong one and this is the right way, da, 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 you're in a space of I am criticizing. And it is so glorious because you immediately bring up more and more things to criticize because you're in this beautiful substate of I am criticizing. And immediately bring up more and more and more fun things to criticize. The term criticize, it has there, here we are talking about recipes and energy. It's like, what would be the color of criticism? It is its own energy signature, its own beautiful energy signature. Everything is inviting us, if you want, to enjoy it. You can get very lost in the wonder of criticizing, because you get to feel this is bad and this is good. And it's this constant move into satisfaction. And it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful within criticism. But the coolest thing is the minute you move into that substate without realizing it, or realizing it, it's boom, boom, boom. You just start manifesting, like you were talking about last week, how, you just happen to be thinking about the, changing your appearance. And then all of a sudden, here's all this stuff coming to you, all these books and stories and teachers. And it just is so amazing that whether we purposefully or subconsciously move into the substates, it's almost like the manifestations come first and they bring with them the substate. It's so instant. It's so immediate. We don't perceive the time, oh, I moved into that state. And then here comes, you say, oh, I got better. I was sick, but now I got better. And it's like, which came first, the substate of saying I got better and believing that and moving and just, you don't have to believe it, just play. Or you felt better and now you get to say it. Did you say it and then it happened, or did it happen and then you said it? And it's just, it's so, our ability to manifest effortlessly is such a joy, is so much fun. And you get to play in the whole playground of manifestation, which is, I've got to think about it and then it happens. Or you can understand that it's happening all around you and then you get to think about it. But either way, you get to play in either playground. And it's just so stunning. We are so amazing. I mean, the playground's all around us, and the playground of stillness. Oh, yeah. And I love what you said, how there are times where you're just like busy, busy, busy is fun. And, and then there's that time where you just suddenly stop. And, whether you're stopped and you're literally going, yeah, scroll, 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 scroll. And that stillness, or the stillness of just listening to the crows, ravens, or, the breeze. Yesterday, yeah, I mean, I love that I live somewhere where I don't have to deal with triple digit heat waves anymore. Oh my God, I'm so happy. This is, again, another beautiful manifestation. Is one of the things when I said, I want to live in the mountains. I want to have beautifully delicious water coming right out of my faucet. I want to have pine trees that are called Jeffreys right there. I want to have this. I want to have that, all these things. And one of the things was I want the weather never to really get hotter than high 70s Fahrenheit. And yes, I love snow. I love snow, but not too crazy, And oh my God, did I manifest that? So gnarly. But it yesterday was a little warmer. We were in the 80s and I'm like dripping sweat. And all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, is this big gust of wind. And I just stopped. I just stopped and stood up from all my work I was doing. And I just closed my eyes and I'm like, oh, thank you. Yeah, dry this armpit, please. Now dry this one. Oh my gosh. So I totally, there is no ending to all these beautiful, wonderful substates, or what I call playgrounds or sandboxes to play in. They're everywhere. And I loved that last week in the middle of COVID, so many people were like, oh, you have COVID. And I'm like, whatever, you go with that. Everybody else is like, okay, so for 5 days, you're going to feel like this and this and this. And I was like, no thanks. No, thanks. And within 8 hours, I was fine. I was totally fine. I sounded froggy as hell, but that was kind of fun too. It was really, actually, it was kind of fun.
My goodness, do I have fun stories with COVID? So,
Let's go there, because how many people are caught up in the combination of the substate COVID and the substate fear and are combining the two and helplessness.
so I remember when I manifested having COVID, I manifested it because here in France, there was like, I don't know if it's like, if it was everywhere like this, but you had like a passport or like a pass thing that if you wanted to go to a restaurant, or if you wanted to go to here or to the movies or to open spaces with people, it like you had to show that you were vaccinated, or
Oh,
that
yes, we have that
yeah.
too. Yep.
um and so I was like, no, I don't want to do that, but I would like to have, I would like to be able to go into all these places, right? So I was like, okay, I can't imagine that I had the pass. And so I got COVID, and then I got so I got the pass for 6 months. And I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I didn't have like all those awful, like symptoms or anything like that. I think I was coughing for 2 or 3 days, and then it was fine.
That was
Yeah. And so, but then when I realized, like, oh my God, I wanted the pass, now I have it, but without being vaccinated. So I wanted to have it without being vaccinated. And of course, the other way was having COVID. So I got it. I got the pass. And okay. So of course I started going to the restaurants and to all the places and to the movies and enjoying all the things that I wanted to enjoy. So I was happy, like, oh yeah, I got COVID. I was happy and I did all the things that I wanted to do. But then I was like, yeah, that was nice. But now I want that without having to get COVID, like I want to be free to do whatever I want. And so a couple of weeks later, they just removed the restrictions. Like they allowed to go people wherever they want, basically, like all the things like before. So that was amazing. And then something that happened also was that I was going to have some days off, but it was not, how was it? So basically I was going to have some days off, but maybe there were things that I needed to do that I was like, I don't feel like doing. And so all the people that were expecting that I do things, they all got COVID at the same time. And I was like, but the thing is, they were not like, they were asymptomatic. They just tested positive. So I didn't have to go and see them or anything, but they didn't have any symptoms. And I was like, wow, it's like, it's funny how COVID is just this
suggestion.
Not only the suggestion, actually it's this the bridge, it's like the bridge to allow you to do certain things. So for me it was okay. I wanted to go to the movies, I wanted to go do this, that, okay, COVID, and then I can. So, and it was not traumatic, and it was not painful, and was not all of these things that they say that it is. And then when I wanted to do other things, and then all the seeming reasons why I couldn't, which were other people, they all got COVID at the same time. Like the same day, they were all tested positive for COVID, but they were asymptomatic. So it was like, okay, I guess he had COVID, and I guess we cannot do the things that we wanted, that we said we were going to do. So now I'm free to do the other things that I want to do. But knowing that they're fine, it was like, not, oh my God, they got COVID and they are going to die, like, no, they were asymptomatic. They just tested positive, but they kept living their lives, and they just had to stay home. That's the only thing that they had to do.
And that's what happened to me last week. I mean, I had every symptom, but I was testing negative. I know. and it's so funny is because there's other people up here on the mountain. You see, the funny thing is they're like, oh, COVID is on the upswing now. And I'm like, oh my God, it's just a bug, but whatever. Um, and and then we had our 4th of July celebration and everybody got together. And like the next day, everybody's sick. And I had every symptom, but I tested negative. And yet my girlfriends, who maybe one of them's just kind of froggy in her voice, have a little cough or whatever, she's testing positive, and she's like, but I feel fine. What's the matter? And it just really, again, here it is, this sub state of I am. Me, I'm sitting here going, I don't have COVID, I just have a bug. So what? And so I'm testing negative, and all these people that are like, oh, I think I have COVID, they're testing positive. And there it is, but I love how you're saying, COVID was your permission slip to be able to go and have fun, go do all the things you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's, the positive spin on it, that's it, this was a good thing. And it's funny when it first came out and we were all in the massive worldwide lockdown, shut down. And this is back in 2020. That's when I took off, because I was just like, I was in a space of like going, I am so not available for any of this. I'm not available for this fear. I'm not available for being told I can't go anywhere. And I am the ultimate rebel of, you can't tell me what to do. That's so bad. But my desire was to find, I was like, I'm not available for all this fear. I'm not available for all this non-human interaction. So the coolest thing is when I loaded up my car and took off, I did not know where I was going. I had no idea where I was going. I just hit the road, and whatever was popping out at me on the map is where I went. And every place I went, all these different states. Isn't it amazing that United States, all these different states I went through, you would never know there was a pandemic going on. Nobody was wearing masks. Nobody was sick. Nobody was even talking about it. People were just celebrating life. People were out camping and having a great time. And it's like, I forgot. In fact, I was so forgot about it that when I got back to California and they're like, oh, you can't come in here without a mask and stuff, I went, oh, this is still going on? Oh, okay. And it's just so, we are so powerful. We are so powerful in what we're constantly creating. And I love that. I love that. You didn't need a vaccination. You just needed your little card saying you tested positive. And that was it. Yeah. Isn't that fun? The whole tested positive. Are you a positive person, negative person, whatever? It's so amazing how we want something and we will create it in the funniest ways. It's like, ooh, maybe I should have been more specific.
Maybe not. It doesn't matter.
Right? It again, playground. It's such a playground. And I love that in the middle of everything, I kind of brought up this old energy of desperation, right? Oh, I can't have this. I can't do this. I can't sound this way. What are people going to think when they hear me? They're going to be afraid of me. And the coolest thing is I sounded horrible. I mean, you'd think I sound weird now. This is just my sexy version of it. I sounded gnarly. And everybody I was around didn't even say anything to me. They didn't, it was like they didn't even notice. And it was so amazing because I was kind of like going, ooh, people are going to be like, ooh. And I didn't care that I sounded that way, but I was like worried, and nobody did. Everybody was reflecting me, the version of me that just didn't care. I felt fine. I felt great. I felt fan-flippin-tastic. I just sounded funky. And I just, I don't know. So when I said, let's talk about the substates of sickness, you were like, oh, yeah, I love talking about that.
Well, I love talking about substates in general, but the substates, I love something that you said when you told me that you were sick, and when that you were talking about playing in sickness. You said something about, what did I do wrong to manifest this? And that is such an interesting question,
I said that?
Yes, you did.
Ooh, I don't remember
Not
saying that.
Not that you were asking that to yourself, but that you were presenting, this question of, when we manifest something that we don't like that question can come up of, what did I do wrong to manifest this?
In last week's or our last episode 11's Q&A.
Yes.
Yeah. What did I do wrong to manifest that? Ooh, that is that's a beautiful subject. Let's go there. Go.
Yeah. And it's such a great question, because I think at one point we have all asked, like I am manifesting and I know how to manifest, and then look at this crap.
Yeah, where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah. And so I think we've all asked that question maybe more than once. And yeah,
definitely. Last week I was definitely there. And it's easy to want to be like, to fall into, oh, it's because I was around this person, I caught it from them. Oh, it's because we all got together for 4th of July and everybody spread the bug. It's so easy to play in that substate of blame. Yeah. And you suddenly start bringing up more and more evidence of blame. And it's cool. Again, there's that beautiful, colorful energy signature. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's just such an interesting thing, right? Because asking, what did I do wrong that I manifested this? And you are always talking about the echoes, like, yeah, the old states coming back, or just showing that they were there at one point or another. It's just a nice way to see it. It's that you're not doing anything wrong. It's just at some point you were embodying this state, and this is a manifestation from that state. But if you're not in that state anymore, then pay attention to it. Just keep living your life. There's no point, or there's nothing to gain by playing the game of guilt and shame and just self-pity, right? It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, I manifested this. I must have been in a state that I didn't like, or that I don't like now. So I don't need to pay attention to it. It's just an echo that it's showing me who I used to be. And now I get to choose, do I engage with it, or I just say, oh, that's interesting. And then you just keep living your life. There's nothing that you did wrong. There's nothing that we are doing wrong. It's just that we animate states all the time. And sometimes we just animate states that we don't prefer. And then what we can do is just let it go,
Yeah. Yeah, I do love the subject of echoes. I love that. Because again, when you're standing out there yelling out echoes, and an echo comes back that you're over and done with. Oh God, I said that a long time ago. That's still echoing out there. You just kind of notice it, but you're so busy yelling out a new echo. You're yelling it out to the universe, which is you, Y-O universe. And that was, oh God, last week's interaction with everything was just, I haven't been sick. I do not get sick. And so it was such a fascinating space of play, And it really, there was the invitation to be like, oh, I'm not available for this and that not working. And then going, it just to play in so much almost helplessness, the state of helplessness. This happened to me, and then at the same time, other states coming in and saying, yeah, no, there'll be one or two blips of my reality where I had to be aware of it. But there, like you said, you just go forward with life because, oh my gosh, all of a sudden there's all these birds over here that I've never seen before. And look at that color and holy cow, what, that squirrel is so fat. I got to get him to stop eating all the bird food. You just get lost in life. And, we feel like I am sick. It's like, no. And I brought this up last week. It's just a blip. It's just a blip of your day. And there's so many other echoes all around you. And I think we always naturally, without even trying, embody the state of the amazing God that you are all the time without realizing it. Like I said, raising the sun in the morning, What did you do to do that? What did you do to be manifested being born? What did you do for that? Not a damn thing. We get to play in the substate of manifestation, but you do it naturally, automatically, all the time. And it's just, again, bottom line, playground. So such a damn fun time. And we're always invited to just really, manifestation, what a subject. And there's the answer to the universe. And it just is its own playground. And it's a kick. It's fun. But then at some point, the toys on that playground get boring. And you're like, okay, new playground. Where's the new playground? And I believe every substate, whether we're paying attention to it or not, every I am brings in new playgrounds. So many.
Oh my goodness. So I was thinking about something. Basically, I was thinking about something that I wanted to post on my Instagram account. I haven't yet, but it's coming. That it's about honoring self and how whenever we enter or whenever we embody a new state, we have new desires. And sometimes they are so different from the other desires that we had in the other state. And allowing ourselves to go for it.
Cannonball.
Yeah. And without feeling, because for me it was like strange to find myself wanting things that were completely opposite of what I wanted before. And that was so interesting, like, what? Who is this person? Who is this person desiring these things? Like, I wanted the opposite, like last week. So what's going on? And I just had to be honest. Just be honest and say, yeah, this is what I want now. And what I wanted last week or what I wanted yesterday, that's fine. I wanted that. Okay. Now today I want something different. And to allow myself to be honest, first of all, and then to go for them without feeling guilty, like for not wanting what I wanted anymore. That was interesting, like, okay, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, there was a time where I was a vegetarian and I was like strict vegetarian. And then all of a sudden one day I wanted meat and I was like going, oh, who are you? Where the hell? And I'd be like, oh, that's just a bad craving, And I got to play in that substate. But all of a sudden I'm like, no, I want meat. and I, you move on. And yeah, being okay with that. You get to be heavy duty law of attraction or Christianity or Muslim or whatever, and you get to fully embrace it and cannonball in it. And then boom, all of a sudden that doesn't light your boat anymore. And you're just like, I want to be. And that's exactly, I mean, God, I've always been this wanderer. I distinctly remember just never feeling satisfied in one space, always feeling like, oh, I gotta get there. Well, what's there? Some people say it's the grass is always greener on the whatever, but I was always feeling, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. And then all of a sudden, without trying, I'm settled. Even though this is not my house, I feel settled. I don't feel the need to go. I gotta get in my car and go. I gotta go. Where you want to go? I don't know. I just gotta go. And all of a sudden that's gone. That's not just, it's gone. And it's like, I don't ever not remember feeling that way in 50 years. I don't ever remember not feeling that way until now. It's new. And I like it. I like it a lot. But I had a friend the other day, she asked me, she goes, so are you going to live here? Because where I'm at, I've been since 2017. And it's funny. The first thing that came out of my mouth was no. And then I went, wait a minute. I said, just erase that. And I was like, I said, I'm here now. That's all I can say is I'm here now. And I love where I'm at right now. I love it. I don't want to say I would never leave it, because I can't say that. Like I said, I'm in a whole new umbrella state, like I said last week, that I don't even recognize, but I love it. I love it. And I love that this whole year of, what year are we in? 2022. I almost said 2023. I love that this whole year has been that over and over, this going, ooh, this is a new feeling. This is a new substate. I don't ever remember wanting to feel this way, but now I do. And I love it. I love this freedom. If, for me, it's a freedom. It's definitely a freedom of, I just feel settled. I'm perfect. I love the money I'm making. I love where I'm living. I do not feel the need to get in my car and go. I got to go. And that's what that whole nomad trip was. I mean, my God, it was this frantic go. Every day, a new place, sometimes new states. Some states take like 3 days to get across, but it was go. It's like, quick, pack up all my tent and everything and go. And every once in a while I'd be going, where are you going? I don't know. But I obviously gotta go. I gotta go. And yeah, there's so much to read into that. But it was who I was being at that time. And I love where I'm at now. I adore. And I could say it was the mastermind, that helped me move into this space. Sure, I'm happy with that. It's my awareness of substates and states, but half the time I'm not aware of that. I'm not thinking about substates. I'm not thinking about, ooh, what am I embodying right now? Ooh, that's bad. Let's stop that. Stop thinking that way. What's your inner conversation, Kristen? Change that inner conversation. And sometimes I am thinking about it and playing with it. And I just, I love the freedom. I love the ease of the naturalness of who we are and how it arises on its own.
Yeah. And I love what you said of not recognizing yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting that we were talking about it the other day as well, that I was saying, I don't like to garden right now, but I cannot say that I'm never going to like it because I don't know, And it's so much fun, this idea that I don't know who I'm going to be, what I'm going to want, what I'm going to like. I know what I want now, I know what I like now, but I cannot say this is what I'm going to like forever, and this is who I'm going to be forever. Like, something new can arise. And because of this realization that I wanted completely opposite things of what I wanted before, I was like, who am I? And then I cannot know who am I going to be in whatever time from now. And so that is so interesting. And I think just allowing ourselves to be whoever we are at any given moment is so much fun. It feels like this adventure.
And it's such a space of trust.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, truly, if you were to zoom out away from your life, and there's all your memories right now, just laid out in a lifeline below you, and you're looking at it, all those I was in the right place at the right time to meet this person, and every job and every friend you met and every interaction and the waitress that you just happened to get, and everything. It's like, how much of that were you truly in charge of? None of it. And I mean, I have so many stories of, like, the story of manifesting this place, of walking past this place and admiring it and loving it and going, oh, I wonder what it looks like in there. I wonder what it's like to live there. And then just happen to run across the person that he could have been like, yeah, that's my house. Bye. But that's not what happened. And it was all so much better than I could have imagined, right? It was all so much more wondrous and amazing. And oh my gosh, yeah, and again, I was saying, Bob Proctor has that saying of both fear and faith demand that you believe in something you can't see. And I'll tell you, that was the theme when I was nomading, and I was just in a world of unknown. I was 100% cannonballing every single day, every single minute of every day into the unknown. I was saying that over and over and over because, there was a lot of fear. But ultimately, bottom line, despite all that fear, I still had the best time. I still met the most wondrous, amazing people. Talk about right place, right time, over and over and over and over. Every campground I came to, I had, holy cow. And if I look back over my life, that's exactly what I see over and over and over, despite fear, despite worries, despite COVID, despite this or that. It's always wondrous. It always turns out mind flipping blowing. Right?
Yeah. So good.
I know. Yeah, again, but I also adore wielding, the powers, deciding, going, oh, wait a minute, what substate am I in? Oh, let's change that. And then seeing the results and going, I did that. That was fun. Let's do that again. Yeah. You look like you're going to fall asleep.
No, I'm just enjoying. I'm relaxing.
Oh boy, this is beautiful. As we always say in our podcast, I would love to invite people. If what was your greatest takeaway? What was something that lit you up, or even a question? Please, guys, in our podcast, on Anchor, or Spotify or Apple, there's always a place to write down and we get notified. But also, if you're watching this on YouTube, obviously there's the comment sections below. We would love to hear from you. I get people all the time, and it's so funny. They're always like, oh, I follow you all the time. And I'm like, you do? Why aren't you commenting? I always feel like there's like nobody following me. And then I'll get like 10 people in one day going, oh yeah, I was listening to what you said over here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you did? Oh, well, join in.
Yeah, it would be nice to know like what states and substates you're playing with at the moment, and what have you seen in your life like as a reflection of this new state that you're embodying. That is so much fun. So much fun to see.
I'll tell you, it really is. And I've got it written down somewhere, but I can't find it. What the umbrella state of Kristen M.F. Clark, what that is, like Cynthia is always talking about the Queen of Ease, or am I right? I know that's Jane, but
Yeah.
yeah. But that's part of her umbrella state. That's part of authentic Cynthia, is the queen of this or the queen of that. You get to put in under your umbrella state, what substates do you want it there to be? Do you want it to be the awakened dreamer? In your dreams, there's so much you can do. Do you want to have that in this state too? The awakened state? Do you want to bring all those amazing abilities in your dreams? Can't you just sit down to a piano and start playing without knowing ever how to do that? Yeah. In your dreams, you can, suddenly start speaking Italian and easily, fluently, without ever taking a lesson. And so, you can have that as part of who you are. So the part of Kristen M.F. Clark is, she is this horrifically empowered goddess. She is a self-made multi-billionaire. And the coolest thing is when I chose to step into those states, all of a sudden, I didn't care anymore about money. And that is not what I thought it would be like as a self-made multi-billionaire. But that's exactly what it would be like. Because if you had endless amount of money, you wouldn't be thinking about it anymore, right? If you had endless happiness and joy, you wouldn't be seeking it and chasing it anymore, right? And so when you choose to step in and embrace these, all this color that is all around you, available to you constantly, just say yes to it. All of a sudden, yes, you're not going to recognize yourself. You might think this is the way it's going to be, and it could delightfully surprise you in that it's not. All of a sudden, the person you have been, the seeker, the desirer, the wanter, is gone, because you already have it all. You have it all. And when you have it all, why would you want it anymore? And so in that space, something new arises. And that's what I love about not recognizing. And the coolest thing is the absence of that feeling. There's an energy absence of the, oh my God, money, blah, blah, blah. It's gone. There's just something not in that space anymore. That substate isn't there anymore. That substate is gone. And it's amazing. And I didn't know. I had no idea that would arise, that would happen. But I love it. I love it. Oh, that was a fun little tangent.
Yeah.
Where that came from. Oh, so should we wrap it up on that one?
Yes, that was wonderful.
Yes, that was so much fun. Thank you guys for being here today. I love this. I love this. This was a great one today. I would love to. And this is episode 12. Yes. So it'll be fun to see you guys on the next time around. And please, again, our invitation is to come and play. Hopefully my friend from India is going to come play soon. She is newly married, so we won't bug her too much yet, but soon. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming and playing with us today.
Thank you, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.